Hey everyone, welcome back. Day 2 of modeling my character. I'm just gonna do a quick sound check. Okay, cool. Looking good. I was getting an error from YouTube, but hopefully everything is going smoothly. Welcome back to day 2 of modeling. Did a little bit of research, and the plan today was to work on the hair strands for the character. But if I'm being totally honest, I think I might want to redo the head again and not use the mirror modifier this time to avoid any clipping in the center and just use a subdivided cube. I think in the long run that's going to just be a lot easier, and also I'm just like, the face just feels way too deformed for me and the clipping is just overwhelming me. So I'm gonna keep this version of the head. I'll give myself maybe 30 minutes to redo the sculpting again, and then if we do have to come back to this or it's taking up too much time, I can revert back to this, but I just want to give it another shot. So I'm going to take all of these objects for now and just hide them, and we're just going to redo the head. I think I just want to give it another go, right? So I'll try to, I'm not going to rush it, but I'm going to try to make this version a little bit better, and instead of using the mirror modifier, I'm just going to use the symmetry settings and model that way. So let's just do that. I definitely feel a lot more refreshed, so I definitely have the capacity to just do it again. And because I want this to look the best that it can, I don't want to cut any corners or not make it look the best that it can. So I'm gonna just redo it. So I'm just gonna have a cube, and then I'm gonna use a subdivision modifier. I'm gonna bump it up to maybe like 4, 5. Maybe we'll do 5 because we are gonna be sculpting. And then I'm gonna apply it so that when we do jump into sculpting, I can it'll sculpt just fine. But yeah, I just want more of the roundness of the head, and I just feel like the other one was just not giving that. So we're just gonna start fresh. So we'll start here. Let's see, I'm just gonna zoom in a lot. Pull it over on the X here. I'm gonna tab out. Actually, while I'm in object mode, I'm going to I have to put the origin to geometry, and then while we're in object mode, I'm going to scale it. I will apply the scale, but with all the vertices, it's just really hard to see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to try to center it here, and then I'll apply the scale. So I'm just getting the general shape. And if you weren't able to catch yesterday's live, we're doing like a Coraline inspired, this is kind of our reference, but I'm doing a bit of a Coraline inspired model for a short film that I'm going to be working on. So that's where this image is from. I found this image on Pinterest. I have a bunch of reference images that I liked to use for inspo, and then this one in particular, I love the features of this model, and I love the texture of the hair. I am going to be doing curly hair on my model, but I do love the look of this. It kind of aligns to the aesthetic that I think Coraline has, and that's what I'm kind of going for. So I'm going to take this cube and I'm gonna jump into sculpt mode. So I'm just grabbing my tablet so that I can use my Wacom tablet to sculpt, and then we'll just go from there. I have my 2 windows set up here so that I can see kind of what's happening on the side. One of the tutorials that I was checking out over and over and over, he mentioned when he does his sculpting, he likes to create like a bean shape. So that's what I'm going for, and I think that's what I was attempting yesterday, but I just maybe took it a little too far. And then another thing is I want to kind of keep the tools that I use pretty simple. So, oh, I didn't realize there was like another row of tools. Okay, so I'm going to use, okay, we have sharpen, bend, twist, drag, expand. I don't need any of these cloths because that's just going to deform it in a way that I don't need. So this is this the second row? How many rows do we have? Hold on. I didn't realize there were multiple, there's 3 rows. I had no idea. Okay, let me pull it up then so I can see all the rows. Cool. Okay, so we're just gonna use, I think, the grab tool. There was a mask tool. I don't know which one. Oh, this one. Okay, cool. And then either draw sharp or crease sharp, we'll see. But I'm gonna try to keep it simple with what I use to achieve this model. I think maybe I overcomplicated it yesterday. So let me get this tablet on and then we'll go from there. Okay, cool. So we got our tablet working. Let me see. All right, cool. We got some deforming happening. All right, so I'm gonna start with, actually I'm gonna pull, let me drag this over. I'm gonna need X-ray mode so I can kind of see what I'm working with here. And then I also want to turn on this here so that we're kind of doing a lot of the same movements. I'm gonna just get to the top of the head here. Let me turn this off really quickly. Just gonna go to the top of the head and pull it down just a bit. So we're just gonna squish it down. Not too much, but let's use this here. I don't want it to be just be gentle with the changing of the head shape for now. Not gonna go too crazy. We're also gonna have hair, so a lot of this won't even matter. That's another thing I'm gonna do, is just like practice not being so anal about it. We can pull this in a little bit flatter because that's essentially where the nose is gonna go. I'll just do about that much for now. I'm not gonna go crazy. And then, okay, so let's start working on creating, so how do we wanna do this? A little something like this. And then what I'm gonna do here is we'll do straight on, and then I'm gonna, cause we'll worry about the sides momentarily, but for now I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna do this so that I can use this for my reference, and then this we can see what's happening. So okay, so now I just want to create the hole for the eyes. Yeah, this is more my speed right now. I feel like using the mirror modifier wasn't ideal for me yesterday. We can also shade smooth so it doesn't look so pixelated. So let me do that. Let me jump into layout mode really quickly. Shade smooth, and then jump back in. Okay, cool. I mean, I already feel so much better about this. And then what I did yesterday is I built layers for the nose, but I'm feeling like I should just grab. So if I jump over to the side view, and I can already see that that's a bit more of a bean shape. So I actually need to turn her, and we need to pull the nose out. Oh, you know what? Let's use the mask tool right now. Because I think when you use the mask tool, it only pulls the specific area that you're grabbing. Or at least that's what I was told. Okay, maybe inflate. We'll do inflate with this, maybe. Let me turn this a little bit so I can just see a little bit better what's happening. All right, let's maybe grab. And I'm kind of bouncing between my, there we go. I'm kind of bouncing between my mouse and my pen. So, I think in this circumstance, I'm gonna do the layer thing. I think I liked the way that came out as far as the nose, but we'll see. Let's give it a try and see. Ooh, way too much, but kinda. We'll just do a little less aggressive. Let's see. Okay, we'll start there, and then I can start pulling and shaping. Okay. Let's do some creasing and just kind of shape it. I'm gonna see which crease I prefer. I like that one. Okay, cool. Now we can define this a little bit better. Cool. Yeah, I feel so much better about this, honestly. And I feel like I'm moving much faster. But, you know, I feel maybe yesterday was just a bit of a trial and error moment. So. Let me get this nose pulled up just a little bit. Also, I hope everyone's having a good day so far. It's a really cool day in Cali today. So, already kind of like gone out, took the pup out for a walk. I was like craving eggs with syrup. Does anyone eat like syrup on their eggs? I don't always do it, but today was the day. I was like, I just want. Usually I have like cheese in my eggs, but today it was like scrambled eggs with a little oregano, little salt and pepper, I used some little bit of seasoning, and then I just sprinkled a little syrup. It was everything out. It was exactly what I was looking for. And instead of coffee, I have a protein shake. So I'm hoping that keeps my energy levels high for today's session, because I really want to get far with the session today. Okay, now I want to do the lips. So if okay, I think we're gonna draw, but I need to drop the strength down. So 0.8 is really doing it for me. So I'm gonna do like let's just see what 0.5 does, because I need a draw, but I don't want it to be, hold on, that layer is my best friend right now. Oof, way too much. Oh, the strength, that's why it's insane. So let's go 0.2 and see what that gives. I think that's the biggest thing that I find with modeling, is figuring out what strength is the best for what I'm going for. I'm just making everything exaggerated at the moment so that let's do some clay strips. Maybe that'll give me what I need. And then I'll sculpt it like how I need. But, you know, I don't think the clay strips are giving what needs to be gave. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna define the mouth where it needs to be defined, and then we'll bloat it where it needs to be bloated, right? I don't know if my strength is too much right now, but I'm gonna just keep going and see what happens. Okay. It's trial and error, trial and error. I always admire sculptors in this. This is awful. I mean, I think we're kind of onto something, but I'm going to start. I think we'll stop right there. Okay. I just think okay. And I know Coraline, her mouth is literally just a it's just a it's just a slit, but I just want the mouth to be I want it to be like this mouth here. I really like that, the way that looks. And I don't want it that skinny. I do want there to be some fullness to the nose. Yes, I mean, it's not my first time, Brat, but I typically don't do detailed characters. I've done very simple, basic characters. So as far as just like creating a full face, yes, this is, I could say it's a kind of my first time trying to do a very detailed character. Yes. So forgive me if it's completely incorrect or annoying. You know, but I think we'll get there. I typically do a lot of like hard surface modeling of objects and things, so I don't tend to venture much into this space, but it's a bit of a challenge for myself today. But I feel like if I can get one character done, then I'm on my way. So my challenge for myself this week is to model every single day until it starts making better sense to me. I think just getting comfortable with the tools is really important for me right now. And kind of just seeing like how everything works. You'll have more control. Fewer. Oh, really? I don't know why I was under the impression the more polygons, the more control. Okay, so are you suggesting, I've seen people model in the way of like using a plane and then creating it, like building plane by plane. Are you suggesting that way, or when I use the subdivision modifier on the cube, do less than 5 subdivisions? That's how many I did. I did 5 subdivisions on the cube. Yeah, this is my second attempt at this particular model. Because the first one I used a mirror modifier and it was just like clipping and I hated it. So I was like, I have to redo it. But yeah, what exactly do you mean? Because I feel like I've seen quite a few ways. I just don't feel like I'm experienced enough to do the per plane way, if that makes sense. But I could be wrong. That could be easier for me. And I'll be honest, my other nose was better than this one. If I'm being real. I liked that other nose better, but I know this is probably torture for people who sculpt. And you know, this might not be the video for you. But I'm just trying. I feel like I can get there though, I really do. First you can use a remesh. Okay. First you can use a remesh. Press R to select the remesh density and control R to make a remesh. Okay, so would I go into object mode to do that? I did see, my intention actually before I came on live was to actually download the remesh add-on. But I didn't know if that was something that I would do after I get the general sculpt done. And then do the remesh that way. Because I was seeing some people sculpting that way, that they would kind of loosely sculpt their model and then use the remesh add-on to get the perfect amount of polygons. But if you're saying from the jump, it would be easier to just remesh it. Oh, in sculpt mode. Okay. Control R. Okay, let me do that. Control R. Oh, like that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hold on. Where does that bring me? Let me look. Is this what we're talking? I press Control R. Is this what we want? It's like stressing me out. Wait, okay, so let me see if this. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, so this is my mesh. That's what happens when I press remesh. Is that what should be happening? You let me know. Okay. On a general tip, I feel comfortable with this, I guess. The way that it looks right now, I guess. Just trying to make the lip a little bit bigger. Let me show you, okay, first R. Oh, okay, so R first. Okay, so this will tell me the density. So that's when I press R, 0.100. Thank you for your support, by the way. Truly. We're gonna get there. I should save 2 versions of this. It's okay. This is just a second cube. I maybe should remesh the other one and see what that looks like. Okay, so first you can use press R to select the mesh density and then Control R to make a remesh. Oh, like I get to pick. But how do I know how much I want? Oh, I see. So do I want more or less? I feel like I would want less. That's what you're saying. That's what you're getting at. I feel like that's what I'm hearing from this. Oh, I had no idea this existed. Never seen this. Well, it brought me to this, so maybe I'll try this. Let's see what happens. So I click. Okay. Oh, I'm seeing it. Okay. So let me see what will happen if I do a smaller number like that. Oh. Interesting. I think I see what you're saying. So this is how I can control a remesh, which is actually really cool. I want to see something. I'm gonna show you the previous one, the one I did yesterday. I'm gonna do it on that and see what happens. Whew. Okay, I think I gotta get out of here first though, right? I'll go to layout and then I'll select it again. So I think it's, is it this one? No, it's eyebrows. Okay, so this one, I'm gonna go into sculpt mode. I'll try that method. And then a smaller number. Whoa. Great tool, even ZBrush does. I've never used ZBrush, but I hear great things. That mesh is so bad. It's really bad. So we're definitely not going to use that one. But yeah, I've heard so many people utilizing ZBrush. I don't know why I feel intimidated by sculpting, period. Like, that's kind of always, I've avoided this for as many years as I've been in Blender. I've avoided sculpting at all costs. It just is so intimidating for so many reasons. I mean, working with polygons and being so in tune with like how many polygons you're using and things like that really intimidates me as well. So this is me really, really stepping outside of my comfort zone. I've always just felt comfortable using basic shapes to create whatever model or thing I'm working on. So I'm really trying to try something new here. And I do intend to use the remesh add-on for sure. For sure. Thank you for the sub. You are my 300th subscriber. Thank you. I'm so appreciative of it. Do you use Blender as well? Like, is sculpting your area of expertise? I think when I was first getting into Blender, one of my favorite things to do was to just watch people sculpt. Like, I would put on speed, like time lapse of people sculpting, and I was just like, who are these geniuses who are like able to create these really cool characters? I always was just so impressed by it. And I was like, I'll never be good enough to do that. I've done basic, like, characters. Like, I've done little animals or, you know, really cutesy, like, kawaii animals, but nothing super detailed like this. So I'm really trying to push myself and try something new. And hopefully we can get a pretty cool result. I'm giving myself like 7 months to work on this short film that I wrote that I think would be really cool in the Coraline aesthetic. So I'm in no rush, honestly. I just definitely this week want to take advantage of the free time that I have. Okay. I don't use Blender, I sculpt. Oh, yeah. I was doing some rigging yesterday with one of my characters. I was having some issues with getting the weight paint to read because it's like a little bunny. So because it's not a human, it wouldn't be like a human anatomy. It's kind of giving me a little bit of trouble with the weight paint, but I did get it rigged. I use Rigify. And once you can kind of figure it out, it's super cool. But yeah, I definitely want to try out ZBrush. I feel like so many people use ZBrush, especially when it comes to sculpting, and I wonder if it has a little bit easier of a learning curve than Blender. But I've always admired sculptors. I think they're part of the elites. I think every all sorts of artists in Blender are elite. But I definitely hold a special place in my heart for people who can make their drawings come to life. I think that is just iconic. So iconic. So for me, if I'm able to make this happen, I just don't know what I would do with myself. It would be so insane. Also, you can use ZBrush on an iPad, right? Which I would imagine is like really cool for like on the go stuff. Just putting a little bit of definition around the brow. I don't know. Feels like the right thing to do. All right, let's put the eyes in so we can start pulling things around. I'm gonna leave it here for now. Let me save it. And I'm gonna add those little tiny eyes that we already have. We'll just take it from our other model and put it here. So we have our eyes. Okay. Let's see. So let me pull the eyes out. I'm gonna come out of sculpt mode real quick, just so we can put the eyes in place. So we got the eyes, and then I'm just gonna grab on the Y and pull them out. So they're, yay. I mean, I feel like that already looks better. And we'll move. I mean, it's a little close. I know the middle should be one eye's distance, so let me grab on the X and pull it out a little. Hold on. Let me get a good measure of this. Should be about one eye's distance apart, but I don't know if it's a little bit different. Let me look at Coraline. Let me see what she got going on over here. Her eye distance is pretty far. It's actually more than an eye's distance. And then in the image, it's about an eye's distance. So we'll kind of go with that. That feels safe, like where this is. This feels good. Oh my gosh, these eyes look so funny. Rigging and animation are just another big pain in the ass. I know, isn't it? Isn't it? But it's like once you get it down, it's just like the sky's the limit from that moment. I really feel that. That's how I felt yesterday rigging. I was like, ugh. I was done sculpting. I was like, I can't do any more sculpting. But I was like, let me see if I can at least get, it's like this cute little bunny that I made. I was really into utilizing grease pencil along with my models to have like a hard outline. So that's what I was focused on with that particular model. So it was like a cute little bunny that looks drawn, but I wanted it to be rigged. So I was trying to get everything combined, and we're almost there. Like we're right there on the brink of it working. But I had to, after a few hours, my brain started hurting. So I was like, I gotta take a break. Rigging is definitely one of those things that's just like, it's super challenging. But I feel the same about rigging. Like once you get the hang of it, the sky's the limit with that as well. And I also was seeing a lot of texture painting going on, which I think is really cool too. Okay. This looks better than yesterday's model. I can at least say that much. I can go as far as to say that. Does it look exactly how I want? Definitely not. Definitely not. But me see. How do my eyes differ from, let me see, hers are just a little bit more almond shape, I would say. I also have, I'm gonna go into, really quickly, let's put a skin texture on her. I have this saved skin texture. That's just pretty basic, so let's just do that real quick. So let's just do a new Principal BSDF for the head. So we'll just do skin. And then into the skin. Oof. What is this gonna be, our light? I don't know if it's a light path or what it is. Or mix, it might be a mixed color. I think so. I think either mixed color or mixed shader, I forget. Let me see. Color, let me see. Mixed shader. Yeah, I think it's the mix. Okay, we're gonna do this. And I'm gonna do 2 of these. And we're gonna put this into here. I'm gonna put this into here. And then what I'll do is we gotta pick a color. Let me see, Shift A, let me put a color ramp. I'm gonna need 2 of these, so I'm gonna do 2. This is kind of just like the stylized, basic setup for that, and then I'll do the hue. Let's just go ahead and pick. We'll pick the same image, and we'll just use her as a reference. And we'll just make it less red. It's so red. We'll do like, maybe like a brown. Like a brown. And then let's just do a little something with our color ramp. So it's just kind of changing the color slightly. Okay, it's a little orange. Maybe something like that. And then we'll just add a Voronoi texture. And then we'll need 2 of those to add a little bit of detail to the color ramp. Just so when we're sculpting, it kind of looks like we're sculpting a face. Let's see, scale. Let me see what happens if I change it. Oh, cool, cool, cool. Okay. How crazy do we want to go? It's not any of that, actually. So we'll keep it really simple. Okay, we'll do something like that because it kind of looks like the sun. We'll just do 1 because it kind of looks like the sun is kind of like hitting her a little. All right, and then what if we play with this a little bit? What does that do for us? Okay, just kind of adjust where the shadows and things are. So we'll rock with this. I think this is just fine. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's a really... We gotta fix her mouth. I mean, wow. But so far so good. We'll use this as the skin. Okay, cool. Blocking and coloring, creating basic shapes and playing with... Yes. Yeah, do you use like a lot of texture paints and things? I like it. I'm into it. Let me save it since we have a shader now and we can tweak it and play with it, but this is a good little start, I think. All right, let me get my tablet and we'll get back to business. Also, thank you for that iconic tip, because I had no idea about the remeshing. It's really cool. And I guess we can make her smile a little. This will be our default let me split this. I'm gonna split it horizontally like this. We'll keep the side view here, but I want to change this one because now we're kind of focusing on details. So I'm gonna need the image up here. So we'll do this. Oh yeah, I know a lot of people use the anatomy heads. I do want to get one of those. As a matter of fact, I think I have one in my Etsy cart. But I know the anatomy heads are like a big deal. When I was taking painting classes, we would use the anatomy heads for shadows and things, like the busts. So I feel like if I just use, I guess maybe the same concepts that I would in like a painting with sculpting, that could really be helpful. There was a short while in my life that I would go to live painting classes. So there would be like a nude model and we would paint them. That was a really fun time. I definitely want to get back into doing those as well. It was a really cool time. For now, I definitely want to focus on doing a lot of like stylized characters. Let's really get this going, you know. Let's get this nose looking like a nose. What's it? Is it my radius or my strength that's like... Let's pull this down a little. Let's see. Perfect. That's what a girl's looking for, exactly this. Cool, cool, I think we're getting there. And then I think this has to be sunken in more, so we'll crease that. And the lips, let's try to see if we can make that happen. And also, in the beginning of my, if you love your character's anatomy, you'll find it interesting. Yeah, I agree. It does take a lot of time and effort. And I think I'm finally in the space that I'm comfortable just trial and error and just doing my best. I typically feel the most comfortable, you know, modeling like hard surfaces. So when I was getting ready for this week's live, I typically go live every Monday, and Monday only, but I had a lot of free time this week. And, you know, I just started thinking I could do something simple like I normally would, and that's just as fun for me, and it's definitely more within my comfort zone. Not that it doesn't present challenges when I do hard surface modeling, but I typically just feel safer in that realm. And I've been wanting, ever since I started learning Blender, to do a short film. Like, I was like, this is my literal dream. So why not just take advantage of this free time that I'll be having and just really get into it. And so that's kind of what motivated me. So I knew this wasn't going to be pretty. I knew it wasn't going to be as smooth as my other lives, you know, one and done sessions even, but I think that's okay too, because I think when I look back on this, however many months from now, I'll be really proud of my progress. And you can't learn unless you try, so I just can't see any other way to figure this out than to just try it. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. But I think considering this doesn't look awful. What's up? Why is that doing that? I think the Voynor texture is a bit too extreme, but it's okay. I won't worry about that right now. Okay, let's get that lip smoothed out a little bit. Yeah, and I think as long as the character tells the story that I'm looking to tell, we're in good shape. I like this. I put some carrots on the stove for my pup. I need to make sure there's still water in the pot. It's on like a low simmer, so I don't think it's like boiling over, but I can smell it. It smells really good. So I just want to make sure it's not burning the pot. Let me go check on it really quickly. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Oh my gosh. Oh my God, thank God I checked it. It was like right at the very end of the water. But it smells good. It smells like the holidays. Every time I boil her like sweet potatoes or something, it just smells so festive. I love it. Okay. All right. I also think texture painting. My Blender's incredibly slow. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. I'm in the process of building a computer. I have an iMac, and for whatever reason, I think between the OBS and my Blender running at the same time, my dad tells me all the time, my computer's so slow. I know. I don't know. I mean, I bought what I thought would be a wonderful computer for editing, and it just didn't turn out that way. I mean, it's been good for learning, don't get me wrong, but it definitely has a lot of its challenges. I'm limited in a lot of ways. I can't necessarily use like the cloth simulations or fluid simulations, and fluid simulations is one of my favorite things to use in Blender. And I'm very, very limited on when and how I can use those, because my computer just can't handle it. My render time is incredibly long. So I definitely make do with what I have for sure, but I'm in the process of actually building a Windows computer. I'm 3 pieces away from having a brand new computer, so hopefully that will be fixed very soon as well. Yeah, I learned that very quickly when I tried to get into Houdini. I took a couple Houdini courses at Noman in North Hollywood, and I was having to go to campus to use the computers because my computer just couldn't handle a thing. And I mainly wanted to learn Houdini for simulations, because I'm just obsessed with anything simulation. So I was like, oh my God, like it's node-based, node-based software. I loved the idea of that. So I was very excited, and I started, learning Houdini on this computer. And it just, oh my God, look at those lips from the side. It looks crazy. Wow. Oh my God. So yeah, and I'm sorry if it's like annoying. It's actually very hard to work, especially in sculpting with a challenging computer. But yeah, I think between OBS and YouTube, like trying to stream, yeah, that's what my dad said. He's like, I cannot wait for you to get your computer, because if you're able to create on the system that you have, he's like, I just can't wait for you to see how great it's going to be when you could just flow through. So my dad has built his computers all the time. Like, that's just what he does. So he's just like, once he would help me, because I was taking Unreal Engine courses along with Houdini, and then I used Blender for modeling to import into Unreal for like one of my final projects that I had to do. And I would jump on Zoom with my dad, and he would help me with my Unreal, because he's really proficient in Unreal. I was more of a newbie. So he was just kind of teaching me, and even just being on Zoom with him, he's like, okay, scroll. And I'm like, I'm literally scrolling. And it's just like taking a while. And he's like, oh my God, like, how do you do anything on that computer? And I'm like, I know. I didn't know any difference until people who had better computers than me, it was like, your computer is really slow. So I'm sad that you've noticed, you know, because it's obviously that, you know, noticeable. But the fact that I am able to create in it, I guess will only make me more appreciative when I get my new system. So I definitely look forward to that. And hopefully my content will be much better. Yes, I mean, VFX is the ultimate goal. Children's animations would be the ultimate goal for me. Although I do love, like I said, like hard surface modeling. So I would love to work for a perfume company, potentially doing like their product renders. That would be a really cool job for me. I think I would really enjoy that. So yeah. But also I haven't been able to dive into Houdini the way I'd want to. So I could be interested in, you know, a lot of careers that have to do with Houdini. If I could be even someone who teaches Houdini, I think that would be really helpful to be a woman voice in that space. So I'm not necessarily closed off to anything in particular, but I do have my preferences. And I do like the idea of a children's animation, for sure. But VFX, yeah, I would, if I could work on a film. I mean, I was interested in VFX originally and going to Nomen, and I obtained a mentor who did post-production for a lot of DC films. But she used a software called Flame, and that's kind of how I got started. So I started doing post-production stuff in Flame, just like masking and some rigging, or rotoscoping, sorry. And that was okay. It was cool. But I was always finding myself wanting to be back in Blender. And that was just like a realm that she wasn't really versed in. So she kind of connected me with the people that would support me in that journey. And that's how I learned about the Nomen school, the VFX school. Another mentor of mine that works at a studio in El Segundo mentioned Houdini. And he was like, if you can learn Houdini, then you'll really be in high demand, which is what really excited me about that. And it's industry standard 3D software, so that was really exciting. So I dove into that for a while until my computer couldn't handle it any longer, and then it kind of crippled me a little bit. But I always found myself kind of returning to Blender because that was the thing that I felt the most comfortable in. So I think I'll always incorporate Blender. Yeah, I think I'll always incorporate Blender in some capacity. I'm gonna draw sharp, and I think I want this strength to go up a little. And I just want to give it like a little bit more definition. And maybe we can drop this even to like 50. But if I'm being honest, I kind of like where I am right now with this. Like I mentioned, I still will use the remesh. I think on the side it looks a little, the lips look a little duck lippy. Look at that. Let me see if I can pull this in a bit. Let me see. What's this one? Grab. Let's just do regular grab, right? I'm trying to pull it Let me actually smooth that out a little bit. It's a little, like nobody's lips does this, you know what I mean? Like on the front it looks cool, but from the side that's not happening. Let me see what else we could do. I need to boundary trim. What happens if I flatten? What does that give? Feeling like smooth is where I want to be with this, honestly. Get over here. It's a bit much. There we go. And then I'm going to use this grab tool, and I think I want to pull this down. Actually, let me crease. I'm going to crease this more because I think that's what's kind of throwing me for a loop here. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll be excited when I have a new setup, for sure. I think it'll make everything a lot easier. Okay. There's always like one part that just like see if I grab this and pull it down a little. I'm gonna use the bloat. I think I need to stop bloating the lips. Let me stop doing that. Okay, cool. I think that looks better. Let's pull the mouth up a little. Cool. All right, I think I'm in an okay place with this for now, if I'm being honest. I definitely need to perfect, maybe let me see, maybe if I drop the strength down, let's go 0.4. I just want to smooth it out just a bit. Okay. I think I'm at a place where I can kind of leave it for now. I'm gonna leave it for now and add some details. I feel comfortable with doing that. This is much better. Let's compare yesterday. We can work on the hair now, and I'll just add those. Let's see. I'll just add like my eyebrows that I had. So I think that's this and this. But it might be, oh, this is the eyeliner. So let me see if I pull, it's gonna be completely different eye shape though. Take crease sharp, okay. Now as far as the crease, okay, let me go back in there before I do all this. I do have a question, Brat, if you have the answer for me. First let me click on the head and then sculpting. Now, okay, so this one's crease polish, this one's crease sharp. You're saying use this one instead. Do you have like a reason why you prefer this one over this one in sculpting? I think even when I'm drawing, it's a hit or miss for me with lips. Any of my paintings, when I do get the lips looking good, I'm blown away. I just never feel confident in doing lips. It's like, do you do the lips first or do you do the crease on the inside first? You know what I mean? Also, maybe I need to increase the strength a little bit. Just try it, okay, okay? We're trying. Let's try it. Are we getting there a little bit? Am I clicked on the right? Let me make sure. Okay. I'll just turn this up a little bit, maybe like 0.8. Yes. There she goes. There she goes. Control click for inverse, okay. You're like my own personal, oh yeah, okay. This is great. Yeah, yeah. Fabulous. Fabulous. Oh, I'm actually like liking it. The corners, I feel they're supposed to pinch more. She's kind of a character. I can't believe it. Okay, cool. That's actually awesome to know. I also like putting little dimples. Just 'cause. I think they should be a little bigger and more subtle. Let me pull this up. Just a little. Click, control click for all brushes. Okay, cool. I love that. Perfect. Oh my gosh, you're a lifesaver for me for that right now, seriously. It's iconic. You've made me a better sculptor today. You're so appreciated. Honestly, thank you. Because you didn't have to help. But you did. Thank you. Yeah, a little bit softer, I think. Yeah, I feel cool with this. And if I add some texture paint, I think that could really help. But on the foundation, I mean, her nose is very different than our Pocahontas. But I think it's a cute little button nose. I think it's fine. Oh, maybe I should do little holes, right? Oh, wow. Maybe I'll turn the radius down, though, to maybe like 75. But we can put some holes in the nose. Yeah. I'd like to smooth this area out a little bit though. Cool. Okay. Yeah. I think she's adorable, you know? For my first little, I gotta fix her skin tone though. It's really orange. Doesn't feel right. But I think for the basis, I think it works. I want to add I want to start the hair. I think that'll really help me. And I'm gonna use the Bezier and the path method. I'm gonna do that because when I was looking to start, and I actually thought about doing this as a matter of fact. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the game The Sims, but there is I forget what it's called. It's essentially like the Sims editing app, and you can import hair from the Sims game and then modify it in Blender. They use blend files, which is insane because I've been using Blender for years. But they use blend files to create the hair in the Sims. So you can simply just import the hair, edit it, and then import it back into your game. And that's how a lot of CC creators create new hairstyles and things like that. So I could go as far as just going into the Sims editor, grabbing a hair texture that I like and importing it in for the character instead of doing it myself. That's an option. But then a lot of CC creators will take the hair from the Sims and then modify it using this path and Bezier method. So, I had mentioned, so I'm going to change this one to an image. So I found another image that I liked the hair, and it was this girl. And I love like the worm-like texture of this hair, but also I want there to be a level of curl to it. And I know my character is definitely not like this. This is not giving Coraline. My character is a little bit more chipper. This is like a softer character. Let me change this skin texture. It looks bananas to me. Hold on. We gotta drop this down to like 0.2 or something. And then let's drop this to like 0.5. Yeah, it's just giving too much. It's too like, all right, that's better. We'll leave it there. Doesn't look as weird. So I really like this, and I feel like although this will be tedious, don't forget to save your phone. Yeah, you know what, Brat, you're incredible. Thank you. Just saved it. Don't forget this, because my Blender will crash. It's happened on live so many times. It's so embarrassing. So, but then I will admit, using that path curve method, I mean, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So I'll give it a go. I'll give it a shot. So you need to use, not over there, sorry. So we're gonna go Shift A. And then what we would do is, we need a curve, a circle. And I think the thing that gets me with this is like, where the origin is matters so much. Let's get rid of our where this is matters so much. So we're just gonna give it a shot. So we have this, and then we need a path. Sorry, not a path. We need oh my God, what am I saying? We need a Bezier curve, and I think just is it a curve? Hold on. I wrote it down, you know what I mean? I wrote it down for this exact reason. Yeah, so I just need a Bezier, like a regular Bezier, and then also the circle. These two items. But what's this? Curly. Hold on. Because Blender's always adding something. So what's this all about? Curly curve. Grab on the Z. Why can't I pull this up? Oh, I'm in edit mode. Okay. Let's just do what I know. We're gonna just do a Bezier curve, okay? I'm gonna leave them at the origin just so I can set up what I need to set up. So I think what I'm gonna do, am I adding a modifier? Let me see. I always forget this. Is it curve? Could be curve. It's not curve. We need a path. Let me see. Maybe it's just in the settings here. Path. So it's not taper object. Is it object? Let's see. That ain't it. That ain't it at all. So maybe it's path. No, it's not. Hold on, let me look at the modifiers one more time. It would be under deform, I think. Hair path curve, and then This is such a good protein shake. Okay. Is it? Let me see. One more time. I'm gonna do maybe curve. Object. Let me see what happens. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Let me see. Now if I tab in. Hold on, I gotta let me get out of here real quick. Let me tab out, click this. And then this is going to be increase the depth. So this would be our strands essentially. I feel like, hold on. Because when you move the circle, it should change the form of the bezier. I just have to remember how to get there. I did this not too long ago, but it's like if you don't use it, you lose it. And I lost it, I forget. So maybe it's not object, but I also don't think it's geometry either. So let me see, but I feel like it's path. It's not path animation though. All right, maybe hair isn't the vibes right now. Maybe this isn't what I should be. Maybe we can rock out with the neck. We can do the neck, and I could do the eyeliner. And then when it comes back to me, we can work on the hair. I feel like I'm right there on the cusp. But for whatever reason, I just can't quite remember. So if I tab, grab, yeah, nothing's happening. Unless it's supposed, it wouldn't be. I wouldn't use this. I would use this. I would modify this. Do we have, let's maybe get rid of that. And maybe we can start doing it again. See, tab, grab, nothing. So it isn't that. Trying this one more time. And then if it's not that, nope, not that either. Hold on, let me make sure I'm using the right thing here. Because maybe I'm supposed, what's this one? Should I be using a path? No, it's kind of the same thing. I don't think that matters. It's all a curve. Curve's a curve, a curve. Because truthfully, I could use a spiral for the curly hair, and that would just save me so much time. And I could just manipulate it, but oh, it's not a, is it this one? I don't believe so. Okay, we're gonna leave this here. We'll leave this down here at the bottom. Let's just add some more details to the face then, because I'll be obsessed with that, and then we'll be there for 6 hours, and that'll be that. So I'll have to figure that out, and then we'll dive into that. But let's just do what we did yesterday, or I could texture paint. What's Coraline? Is Coraline painted? She's kind of painted, so maybe I should paint. Well, that's in this image. She's painted. Is she painted over here? I mean, that's an object. I think her lids are an object. I downloaded this from Sketchfab, by the way. Just for reference. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. So fabulous, fabulous film. I mean, I could squish my model's head to give it more of that kind of Nightmare Before Christmas vibe. We could do that. Because this is a little too happy for me. We gotta creep it up a little bit. Let's see if I squish it. I mean, let's get the eyebrows on there, shall we? I'm just gonna take the ones that I already have, I think. Are these my eyebrows? No, I think those are the lids. Let's just pull everything out and then we'll just go from there. So, head is about the same. Let me just hide this head and see where everything is. What's everything called? Alright, so that's eyebrows. So cube 1. So let me hide all those. And cube 1 we want to pull out. And cube 2. And then cube 1, we'll grab on the Y and pull it out. And let's put it kind of like that. Boom. Thank you for that. Amazing. Yeah, that's why the head was changing sizes. Makes sense. Thank you, Brat. All right, so there are the eyes, and what we'll do is we'll just use the same, we'll do the same skin, but we'll change it to eyebrows, and we'll just make it dark colored. Aw, now we're getting some character. So at least we have some eyebrows. I do need to make the head bigger. Well, compared to Coraline, let's see how big you need to be. How big your head, how much more big your head needs. Oh yeah, way bigger, huh? Okay. So I'm gonna scale it. We gotta get the geometry to origin to geometry, and then I'm gonna scale it up. And then I also think I'm gonna scale on the Z and make it a little more squished and less rounded, kind of like Coraline. And then when we go in sculpt mode, I'll pull the chin down to make it a little sharper. We'll even do that. And then I'll apply the scale to everything. Whoops. Okay, now we have a similar scale to Coraline. Okay, let's grab you and pull you over. Thank you for your services, Coraline. Okay. Also making it like more warped is like messing with my, like it's not perfect anymore, and I think that's kind of challenging me right now in a real way. I welcome the challenge, but I definitely feel challenged by doing that, but it's okay. All right, let's go into sculpt mode. I'm gonna pull that chin down. Oh my goodness. Let's pull that chin down, shall we? Make this radius bigger so I can grab the whole thing. And we'll give it a bit of a sharper look. Oh, but it's actually cute though, low-key. It's low-key cute. Well, OBS is trying to tell me something. Let me see. Okay. It was giving me a bit of an error, but I think we're okay now. Let me save it. Since we squished your head, we'll save. All right, and then I really want to do the hair though. Like that's kind of you know what, let me see something. I want to see what this curly thing is talking about. What's this all about? Let me go here and I just want to see something. It's huge. Wait, what kind of curve is it? Is it closed? No, it's open. Okay. It's open, right? Yeah, it's not like completely closed. Okay, that's not gonna work. All right, but let me, oh, the head, look at that. Look at that big head. We gotta squish the back in. But it looks better than yesterday, that's for sure. I don't want it to be straight because I feel like that's the easy way out. I want it to be curly. So, let's see what, we just did curly, so let me try spiral. I think I always use this one anytime I'm doing, no, not that one, just kidding. The second one, yeah, this one. I always use this one when I'm doing like whipped cream or something, or like ice cream. Because it gives like that perfect little swirly swirl. Let's bring this down. This is way too what? But you know what? At the same time, we're probably going to use a hair particle system now that I'm really thinking about this. But maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should do it like this. Because there is a hair particle system that is curly that we could use, but that's going to be... Do I want to even bother with that? So, let's try that again. Hold on. Let's go 0. I would need the height to be pretty high. I guess it could be something like that, and then we could drop this down to like that. That looks good. Stretch it out like that. And then scale it down. we're just gonna have kind of less freedom, but it's a curl nonetheless, right? And then maybe we pull it on the Y. Let's maybe do a curl in the front. We'll just start there. Also, let me know if the music is too loud. I'm quite enjoying it, but if it's annoying or too loud, let me know. I can turn it down. And then I guess I could like rotate it, kind of like that. Just put it just near the eye. Oops. Then I'll increase the depth. Maybe just like 2, not too much, 0.2. And we could do the hair like that. I could literally duplicate, and just move it around manually and not even bother with that other method. But the issue with doing that, so right, like I would tap into edit mode, and then the pieces that are kind of intersecting with the face, I'm going to use proportional editing, I suppose, in this circumstance. And we'll just pull it out. Let's make that a little bit. Let's see. You know, like this would be so tedious for me to have to go this route. I could, but I would never make y'all sit through that. That's insane. So I guess I could go this route on my own time if I so choose, and then that will essentially kind of give me the vibe I'm looking for because of the individual strands that I like in that reference photo over there. If I took my time and did it, I mean, I could do half and then mirror it, like do half, make it all one mesh, and then mirror it. I could do that. And that could be a way that I do the hair. That's just gonna take, you know, a ton of time. So, you know, I'm kind of on the fence about that, but this is a cool start, I think, if I'm willing to take it there. Yeah, if I'm willing to do all that, then I could. I just don't think I would like force y'all to watch that. I feel like that would be so boring, you know, or it could be satisfying. I don't know. But I could literally strand by strand just like do that. And I think once it came all together, it could be really cool in the end. Why don't we add a neck? Why don't we add a neck? You know, let's add a neck. Just to, let me look at Coraline's neck. It's just a skinny neck. Okay. It's giving, I guess we'll just do like a subdivided cube. We'll use the same portions of this neck as well. I think I actually have a clay shader. We can try that to see what it would look like stop motion. Then we can go back to this one, but I'll do a cube Jumping into edit mode, I'll grab on the Z. I'm going to scale it down a bunch. Let's turn off proportional. I'll scale it down a bunch. Let me grab on the Z. Grab on the X. Because if we can get scale on the Z. Let's do that. Let me go ahead and I'm trying to think. I'll subdivide it now, it's fine. We'll subdivide and then I'll just add some loop cuts to tighten it up. And then I'll add loop cut, and then what I'll do with proportional editing on, crank this baby up, scale on the X, giving us a nice little neck, and the same thing here. Keeping it wide, I guess. And let me select the whole thing and then scale on the X. And then jumping into the side view. Want it about the size of Coraline, so her neck is pretty little. Kind of like that. And then we'll scale on the X a little bit more. Is that a neck? I guess it could be a neck. Oh, is it thicker? Thicker up top, skinnier on the bottom. So why don't we flip it? So maybe that's a neck. Well, hers is the opposite, but Coraline's is thicker, skinnier, so we'll go with that. And then what I'll do is I'll jump into shading. Let's just give you, let's hold Shift, Control L, and then we'll just link the material so the skin is the same. And then it's kind of a neck. I think I like it skinnier top, thicker bottom, truly. All right, so we got that. Let's see what will happen if we mirror this. I'm gonna mirror this and see if this is something that I'm interested in doing. You know? I think we could make it happen, honestly. I don't think it would take too much out of me for me to do it this way. So that could be what we do next go round tomorrow. We're doing every single day till Friday. So we're on day 2. So tomorrow, since we kind of have the basis of things down, we can focus on the hair, and then what I'll do in my off time, or maybe I'll do the hair. I'll do a good portion of the hair. How about that? I'll do a good portion of the hair on my own time. And then tomorrow we can do some texture painting, because I think that could be fun to add details like the eyeliner, some makeup, some lipstick, little freckles, So I'll do what needs to be done to get the hair at a decent place. Oop, I have to sneeze. Sorry, hold on. Okay, it went away. We'll also get those eyebrows laid. We'll shrink wrap them to the head a little bit. If I want to do any more manipulation to maybe the face, I can do that. But I do think texture paint is going to give what needs to be gave, because this is kind of like cartoon style, so it's not full 3D, and I always enjoy incorporating, you know, drawing and sketching into my project. So I do think if we did some texture painting, that could really set things off a bit. So we'll do that. I'm gonna save this where it is, and the last thing that I think I want to do is jump into the shader editor, and I want to use the claymation, because we have a clay, what's it called? A clay material. I just want to see what that will look like. Oh, how cute is that? But that's not what we're going for. Oh my gosh. How funny. Is that my only clay? Is that my only clay option? Let me make sure. That could just be simply clay for the sake of clay. But let me see if I have like a stylized claymation texture, or if that's my only one. Plaster, dirt, stucco. Plastic. The buttons. We have a few textures that I've made. Okay. I think that's our only clay shader, so that may not work, which is okay. I don't know if that's the Southern Shoddy one that I had, so I'll look into that too. I think that'll be another task that I give myself for the day. Okay, yeah, so that's all we have, but that's okay. I think we have a cool basis for shader right now, and I think I feel happy with what we have so far. I'll work on the hair on my own, try to come up with something cute, and then we can start expanding this entire project, but I'm happy with what we have so far. Yeah, thank y'all for joining me. This was so cool. Brat Wombat, if you're still in here, thank you so much for all of your help today. You made me a better sculptor. I'm very appreciative. So appreciative. Yeah, and I think I'm gonna call it. I think 3 hours is a solid amount of time. I'm feeling a little hungry, and I have a few errands I need to run, so I think this is a good place to end it. And or 2 hours. We did 2 hours today, not 3. Yeah, but I think this is good considering we're going live every day. This is solid. So yeah, I hope this brought you some semblance of like chill, calm. I hope you learned a little something from either myself or Brat Wombat in our chat here. And I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow around the same time between 12 and 1:30. And yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you are. And if you find something that zens you out, don't forget to make space and time for it. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.